We're extremely proud of this kid right next to us here. He fought his heart out under tough conditions. I think he proved tonight that he belongs to be considered right up there with the top middleweight contenders in the world, and he will be back. Ladies and gentlemen, Arias.
First off, I'd like to thank HBO for once again approving me to be on the stage. Thanks to my team, John and Gil. We had a great training camp. I left it all on the line. I trained my ass off for this fight, and it just didn't go our way tonight. What can I say? Jacobs fought a great fight. I thought he was a lot bigger than what I expected. I honestly thought the size wouldn't be a difference, but he proved that it was. He did his thing. I can't complain. No excuses. I wanted to fight my heart out, and I wanted to leave it out there. I talked myself up because I knew I belonged, and I know I do belong. Tonight was just not my night. After about the second or third round, my leg my foot was burning, and I couldn't really just get off. And Jacobs fought the smart fight. He controlled his distance good. He used his size very well. He was quick, he was strong, and he was fast. This is nothing but a great learning experience for me. They always say, true champions, that by the time you fight for a world title, if you don't have any losses, you haven't really learned. So this is nothing but a great learning experience for me. I would like to congratulate Team Jacobs. You guys did your part. You did your thing. He held his own in there, and he did very good. I was supposed to lose. He was supposed to knock me out. I was on one foot for most of the fight, and I held my own. Like I said, nothing but a learning experience. I will be back. I will be back again next year. Thanks to all the fans. Thanks to everyone who supported me. And like I said, Team Arias will be back. I have a great style. The fans are gonna love me. It is what it is. I learned, and back to the drawing board.
Luis, I really have to give you a lot of credit for your defense. I thought it was great. I put it to people on Twitter. I said, maybe the kid's stock goes up. He was so great defensively. I'll be honest, a lot of people on Twitter, though, are saying he talked a really good game and then was more defensive-minded than we expected. So people, I feel like, weren't agreeing with me. What grade do you give yourself overall? Yeah, you survived the fight, but I guess people were expecting maybe more offense.
Yeah, bad grade. Like I said, I couldn't really get off. I'm very good with my right hand, and I couldn't just plant my right foot. So it was hard for me to time him. In the beginning of the fight, I was able to see certain openings, and then just my body wouldn't allow me to see these openings as the fight went on. Like I said, Jacobs fought a very good, smart, composed fight, and he showed that he's been there before. This is my first time on that stage. I fought my heart out. Like I said, he should have stopped me. I was never really hurt. He caught me with a couple good shots, but I caught him as well. I feel like the size difference was definitely helped in his favor. But like I said, I'll be back. I'll be stronger. If I would have had both my feet most of the fight, I would have been a lot more offensive. But like I said, it just wasn't my night. Jacobs had a great night, and we will be back.
Was he as good as you expected, or better, or worse?
He was a lot smarter than I thought. Usually Jacobs get careless. So a part of me, wanting to talk it up was to make him get careless. And he was getting a little careless, but he was also getting composed. He was just a lot bigger. I thought my shots would affect him a lot more, but he found a way. He found a way to win. So like I said, no excuses. I left it all in the gym. I try to leave it all in the ring tonight. And Jacobs was just a better man tonight, and I will be back.
Luis, can you elaborate on your
firstly? Great performance. Did you expect Jacobs to be as relentless as he was in walking you down to taking the fight?
Initially, not at first, but everyone's game plan is different once that bell rings, and like I said, man, I was fighting on one foot for 85% of the fight, I felt like the first 3-4 rounds was a little tactical, and then after that, I couldn't get off, I just couldn't, my foot was on fire, and I don't want to make any excuses, but it's hard to shoot over, I got a perfect right hand, a very strong over right hand, and it's hard to plant that over right hand when your foot is on fire. So, but like I said, Jacobs is very smart, very experienced. the big guy. He used his size. He used his intelligence, and he won the fight. You know what I mean? But like I said, he should have knocked me out, and I was able to go to 12. So.
Was the fact that he kept pressing forward, did that bother you?
Not at all. You know what I mean? I actually wanted him to do that. You know what I mean? So I could get him to open up. You know, but again, it's hard to counter somebody when you only got 1 foot. You know what I mean? I just, you know, no excuses. You know, he was a better man tonight. You know, he did his thing. He found a way to win. You know, he controlled the distance pretty good, and he, you know, he was the victor tonight.
Can you elaborate on your foot being on fire?
Man, I don't know. Like, you know, like I said, the first 3 rounds, you know, it was real cool, real tactical. We were both moving. You know, I was shooting shots. You know, he was shooting shots. And I just must have stepped on it, and I just, you know, I got a blister the size of a baseball on my right foot, you know, and like the moment I took my shoe off, like my whole sock was bloody, you know, so it's kind of hard to, like I said, it's hard for me to plant my foot. My foot just kept burning, but it's part of adversity, you know what I mean? I was able to stick it through. I still try to fight my heart out. I really wanted a war, you know what I mean? I really wanted to sit there and duke it out with Jacobs, you know what I mean? And I took, you know what I mean? I took what I could. I tried my hardest to try to duke it out with him. But, you know, like I said, he was the bigger, smarter man tonight, and he showed it, you know, and congrats, like I said, I can't say congrats to Jacobs, but I will be back, man. I will be back. It was a great learning experience for me.
Just talking about the size differential real quick, is there a possibility that you would maybe get better at it before?
We've talked about it, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't smoke every other middleweight but Jacobs, and Jacobs is by far the biggest middleweight that I've seen in the whole division. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure I can hold my own with anyone else, but just tonight was not my night. You know what I mean? I will be back. I will climb back. If in a year or two the Jacob fight presents itself again, you know, I'm jumping on it, you know, but right now it's just back to the drawing board. It's back to getting better, back to learning, and like I said, if people who don't have a loss prior to their first crack at that world title really haven't learned anything. So, like I said, another learning experience for me.
Congrats on a really spirited fight. I mean, you put up a terrific fight. You just said going back to the drawing board. Is there anybody you'd like, now that you're on a world stage, people know who you are now, is there anybody that's like right on your radar, like I'd like him next? Not who you want, but who you really think is tangible?
I was willing to fight anyone in the division. You know what I mean? And I still say that, you know what I mean? Like I said, Jacobs was a great fight, and I learned a lot from that, you know what I mean? And I will be a lot better in my next fight, and I'm willing to fight anybody, you know? We'll be back to the drawing board. I hope to come back, you know, early next year. And the Jacobs fight was presented to me in one day, and I took it. So we'll wait and see. I'm gonna sit back and talk to my team, see what they think. You know, I talked a good game. I tried my hardest to back it up, you know what I mean? And I will get better. And my next go around here on the big stage will only get better and better. You know, I'm only 27 years old. I'm barely touching my prime. And like I said, you guys will want to see a better Luis Arias next time.
You also mentioned Danny's height gave you a little bit of a problem. From ringside, it appeared the top ring rope was maybe 8-10 inches higher than normal. I mean, the heavyweights didn't look like big behemoths that they are. Did you feel a difference? Does that throw your game off at all?
Honestly, after the 3rd round, I was just thinking about my foot. You know what I mean? The ring was just the ring. You know what I mean? Like, there's no excuses. You know what I mean? Like the ring can be it is what it is. You know, Jacobs was just smart tonight. You know what I mean? I was hoping he would just get careless, and he did get careless a couple times, and he got caught. You know, but him having that size he was able to take the punch. You know what I mean? So. No excuses, man. Jacobs did a great job. You know, he looked like an elite fighter. You know, so
You did too.
Thank you. And I'm only gonna get better.
John David, were you concerned about the size differential going into the fight? Do you feel like you had enough time to work with Luis? I mean, he's reiterated a couple different times now about the size differential.
Yeah, I wasn't worried so much about Daniel. Good fighter, very good fighter. I was concerned with the weight, and maybe here's about the problem with boxing today. You know, you have all these sanctioned bodies. You know, they want all the money from these guys, but they don't stick by the rules. And here's why I'm saying that. And even the commission, I don't care if they get mad or not. Here's the problem: Danny weighed 159.6 yesterday, but he wouldn't step on the scale today. What did he? You know why? Why? Because if you look at him, he's about a cruiserweight. he was in Cleveland. He's a big boy. Look, I'm not listening. He won the fight. I got to give him that. But he was the bigger man. It wasn't a fair fight. Now, when I was champion, we weighed in the same day. We didn't get the next day to rehydrate and get to become either a middleweight, because I was junior middleweight champion, either become super middleweight or heavyweight. We stayed within our limit. We didn't get that advantage. So you know, if you really can't, if you can make the weight one day, but you can't make it the second day, then you broke the rules. Why would you win the second day? Because you know it was to your advantage to come in rehydrated about 180, 185. That's a cruiserweight. He looked bigger than Luis. Luis hit him with his best shot, but coming a couple of shots, didn't even move.
Were you telling him to go into survival mode?
No, I tell him, no, listen, forget the survival. When you're in a fight, you got to be smart. But whatever he did, it didn't really work for him because this guy was big. He was, you know, he did what he had to do and he won the fight, but he was bigger. And anybody that with the ringside or even in just there, you seen the weight advantage, the disadvantage that he had. And you know, it worked to their advantage and they got away with it, so you gotta give him that. You know, he was bigger, way bigger. Boxing should go back to what it used to be. These guys, they come in the next day rehydrated 20, 30 pounds, but they won the night before. What is that? Then if you know, listen, if you can't make that weight the second day, then you should fight, you should move up. Don't take advantage like that and then use it to your advantage. And he's coming in maybe 170 at the most.
Do you know what he weighed tonight? I didn't watch
They won't step on the
HBO.
scale. They won't step on the scale. That's what I'm saying. Come on.
There's no way in.
And he won the fight, but guess what? He had an unfair advantage. He was bigger. He knew that, and he used it to his advantage, so he won the fight. I can't take that from him, but I will take the fact that you weren't even super middleweight. You weren't even light heavyweight. You were cruiserweight, and I guarantee you were in that range. And that's the big, you know, when you fight someone and he's about 170 most, it shows. And any of the bigger guys, so you can take his punch, you can walk him down. You can do things that you never done in other fights. You can do that with Triple G. Because you didn't weigh that much. Even though you did weigh that much, you can do the same with Triple G. Because he able to do that with this kid, so he got away with it. And
Boxing the sanctioning body should be not allowing that.
Listen, the sanctioning body, the commissioner, they shouldn't allow it. They got to step up. They said that for the betterment of the fighters and their health. What were they? Why did they make him this? I don't care who the fighter is. You know, you're not that much bigger than boxing. These commissions and these sanctioning bodies step up. They step up for the money. They take out the fighters' purses. They get their cut, but they don't step up for their well-being. If they did, they'd done it for this fight here and every other fight, and they should get on their ass, get off the bus and start doing it for everybody. That's how these guys get hurt. When I was fighting, that's what we did. We weighed the same day. We used to win 12 noon, and then we fight 8 o'clock that night. You can put on 20, 30 pounds. Now, they do that now. These commissions and these sanctioned bodies, they say nothing. All they get their money, they look the other way. That's the fighters.
John, how much should Lewis weigh?
Well, he just mentioned the fact that Lewis weighed in at 170. That's what you just said, right?
Yeah.
So let's play devil's advocate here for a second.
Come on.
Let's say Lewis fights a fighter who comes in at weighing in 159, and then you come in at 170.
Okay.
And the fighter
Well, guess what? But the next day you're allowed 10 pounds. That's it. You can't pass 10 pounds.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying you can't. You prefer that if the fighter's going to come in the next day weighing a certain weight, they shouldn't go past it.
Don't go 20, 30 pounds over the limit.
Okay.
Listen, if you want to be real fair, go back to when I fought. We weighed in the same day of the fight. You can put 20, 30 pounds back on. And you know, if you say you care about boxing, these commissioners and these sanctioned bodies, do what's right, do it the right way, because these guys are getting crazy to put his weight back on the next day.
So you're saying that the deck is stacked for a certain fighter in a favored position in boxing all too often?
Sometimes, unfortunately, it happens. And he's not crying about it. He's giving Jacobs all the praise, and I'm the one crying about it because it's not fair to boxing. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair, period.
I mean, this fight was set up for Jacobs anyways. Like I said, we came into his backyard. The fight was offered Friday. It had to be said yes or no by the end of the day. Originally, we were going to fight for my USBA title, which would have forced the 10-pound weigh-in the next day. The first contract had it on there, but the commission contract didn't. So there was no 10-day weigh-in. There was no HBO weigh-in prior to the, you know, they usually do the HBO weigh-in. There wasn't that. There's no excuses, you know. Like I said, Jacob just had a better night tonight. We will be better. We will be back. We're just back to the drawing board. This is just a great learning experience. I came to fight, you know. My circumstances could have been better. But I left my heart out tonight. You know, sorry to the fans, but I will be back. I mean, I will become bringing wars. I'm gonna keep talking. I mean, I'm gonna keep selling myself. I'm gonna keep selling these fights. Until, let's be real, I made this fight interesting. I mean, if it wasn't for me talking, the fight probably wouldn't have been as interesting as it was. I mean, and my foot wouldn't have been as burning like it was. It would have been a better fight too. But it is what it is. You know, it's just a great learning experience for Team Arias. I'm just glad, you know, that I was on the stage. I was able to get my name out there. And we're only gonna get better from here. Like I said, the world title will be mine sooner than later, hopefully. And Team Arias will be back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.